Mbote Kembo Natata Nzambi ya Mazulu, Kimfumu Kyakuisa, Nzambi Mawesha, Nzambi Okubenisha, Nzambi Monene. We're going to play this song to get this started, my intro. Hopefully I can get the StreamYard thing going more often. But again, this is not my song. I did not make this song. I do not have the rights to this song. It's for the edification of this channel only, and for us to continue to glorify the Most High. Hallelujah. Praises. Hope it'll come out better in this video. Yep. All praises. Yengi Keno, Tatanzambi and Punga Slendo, Yengi Keno, the Pemba Kalunga, Bayeti and Kosi. Matonda Tatanzambi for what you were doing, Baba, Bawadi Kolele, for the zoners against us, to refresh our minds, our hearts, our wisdom, break us free of all of our Kondoki, of those who continue to want to destroy us and do what they're doing. Nakomia Bene Yave Congo, Ingita, Hallelujah, Bayeti and Kosi. Hallelujah. All praises. Kembo na Tatanzambe ya Mazulu. Bayeti. I'm doing that for a reason, and I'm doing it to not be like those who are masquerading it, but for me, it's personal because there's been a lot of deception in the churches, in the world, because I'm going to show you what happened in the beginning of 2024 until now. I know many people, they're not going to believe me. I really don't care, because the reality is I saw some of the outfits that they sold. I didn't even really pay attention to it, but I kind of saw it on a news feed yesterday. Nobody knows what happened yesterday, and nobody even knows what happened since the beginning of the year. Okay, except for the people who are part of it. Okay. I have said to this many times that the person responsible for why we are the way we are is the Sambo. Okay, not the Uncle Tom. And this mentality, the Samba in the South, I mean, in South America, it was called the Samba, which they turned into a dance. Um, it's the one that was always praying and never doing, okay, that caused this problem. It's also the ones who decided that they wanted to do things their way 500 years ago, and they basically are responsible for the world being turned upside down. Now, do we give responsibility to the other side? Yeah, because there were those of us who were in Europe who were trying to tell these other people you were doing things the wrong way, and it was always about getting persecuted over it. Okay. Um, this whole concept, I listened to a lady, I don't remember her name, but I know she's a doctor, and she claimed that before Africa had slavery, there was no such thing as white, black. Okay, obviously, this is what happens when you don't remember the whole history. Everything that happened to Africa 500 years ago has happened before. Okay, um, the Romans did it, the Greeks did it. Okay, the what do I want to call those people? The what is their names? The Phoenicians did it. Forgot the name. I forget that. Okay, there's Phoenician structures in Africa that they covered up. Okay, what you're not understanding is that the Luciferian elites have deceived the whole world. And what also happened in Africa happened when it was one continent with everyone else, when Cain and his people were walking on the earth. Okay, so this is why I tell people do not just go off of recent 500 plus year history. You got to do the whole spectrum, which is all part of the cover up, too. Okay. Um, you know, we are in a serious spiritual warfare. I already know that there are so many people that have, because I've chosen to, well, I didn't really defy him. It was part of the plan, but my goal was to remain hidden until the time was necessary. But now that I'm not as hidden as I used to be, it's becoming more spiritual attacks. But I have to do this because, um, like I told my spouse, I'm like, we're gonna get hit hard because now they're fighting for the next phase to remain in their favor. Okay. The problem is, okay, once again, well, quick, Mbote, for all of you that are scattered across the four corners of the earth. Mbote, Kemba, hallelujah. All praises to Tatanzambi and Pungu. We call upon, we humbly speak to you as a group that I hope that you're coming to the understanding. I've even had people, like this person said, can white people come from the Israelites? That's a yes. Even though some people will say that I'm wrong, because it all is about your father. So if you had a Bantu or darker skinned father who happened to be with a white woman, and these two people have children, and then they have children together, okay, and the babies will come out whiter, they'll come out lighter, but they'll have the patriarch bloodline following them. Now, because they have it all wrong. I mean, you want to believe what they tell you, it's not through your mother, it's through your father, but whatever. Okay. But that's part of the reason why they want white men to really go and have relationships with Bantu, especially black women. That's why they intentionally created the the hatred between white women, blacks and whites, black men and black women. Um, I saw an incident. It's sad. We're killing each other over arguments over food. You know, and I'm going to talk about what's going to be the outcome of a lot of the things that are now happening in the cities, because I knew that the more we rise up, Cain is going to keep fighting back. Okay. Cain is going to continue to keep his trophy, and Lucifer, he's going to continue to fight to keep his trophy, because he understands that when the creator brings back the lost tribes, that's the end of his kingdom, period. Okay. And I don't think you understand this, is that this is why he had to trick the Christians to think that they were taking his kingdom down when they never were. Okay. So the whole concept is, as I explained to people, and this is why they're going to keep arguing against me. They're going to keep arguing against anyone else that says this. I've been called stupid for calling people, everybody, Bantu. First of all, you don't even know the word just means people. Okay. And Muntu means the head. The issue is that they do not want us to speak our language as a unified whole ever. This is the whole concept. That's why a lot of people who are learning to speak Kikongo right now, many of them are doing it to increase their spell casting. You don't understand that you can use the Kikongo language for both good and bad. Okay? Because it's about connecting with ancestors of our people that they know the Most High kept, that they went down. Okay? They didn't go back up. They went down, like Jezebel and Ahab. Okay, they spoke Kikongo fluently. What else? What is the name? Like Phineas and Zipporah. Okay, remember they said they blasphemed the Holy Spirit. They died right on the spot. Okay, these type of people, what they're doing is they're using it to conjure, because you can use Kikongo to do good and bad. Okay, and people don't understand this. It's a very powerful language, and it's really designed to be good, but it's supposed to be, it can be used for both. Okay. Um, Sorry, my throat's kind of raspy a little bit. So what you don't understand is, this is why Isaiah said, "Do not teach what's righteous and holy unto dogs and pigs." But a lot of the things that are righteous and holy are written in our original language. And so this is how you know the powers that be, they knew how to, they knew if you could reconnect with the right spirit, it could bring down their kingdom. Okay. So now, I even had an argument with a secret society person. I'm like, well, the secret society people are speaking Kikongo in Africa. Okay. So they always knew that they needed to run interference, because this is what the sorcerer does. He always going to reinvent himself. He's always going to put our people at a disadvantage, because he knows the Most High's way better than we do, who he take it away from. And so he wants to make sure, even if we find it, we still fall off. Okay. So the whole intention of why I told people, really understand who Yisaya Kongo really was, Mfumu Yisuwe, and to really understand the mission that was given to us as the Banabetu of Isolele, and why. Because see, like, I know the Lemba, the Malawi, and them, they're priests. Okay, they have been deceived by Esau, but they don't know that. They think they haven't, but they have, because they didn't need to be taught anything. We were the teachers. The problem is that when they continued to reject Yesiah, they didn't understand that what that does is that automatically sends you to Lucifer, because um, the goat god, Moses cannot, his law can have to be fulfilled, because like I told you, he didn't even go into the land. The Most High said, you're not going. Okay. Joshua took over from there. That's part of the reason why Lucifer fought for him, because he's like, hey, he didn't even get to go into the promised land. How is he being pardoned? Okay. That's why that's one of the reasons why we're dealing with such a strong fight with the people who have taken over the temple, because or taken over and using it to steal, because they truly believe that he should be where he was and not elevated. Okay. So now the whole world doesn't get it, that from the beginning, they have been born into a world that is seeking revenge against the Father. Okay. So you have brought your children into a world that is Egypt, that is Babylon, that is this kingdom. Okay. But they're telling you it's not. Okay. When you look at the science and everything that they've been teaching people, that's why, you know, I'm going to feel for the people who are working in the schools pretty soon, because I know there was a video that went out where the guy even said that the majority of the books in the colleges and in the libraries and everything are fabricated, which is not false, because they have, I'm going to tell you what the purpose of think tanks are. Okay. Think tanks were created in order for them to come up with ways to use the known knowledge and come up with something that would hide their true identity. It's like, you know, when they talk about the whole concept of hiding in plain sight when it comes to superheroes, it's like you'll see like how they do like Diana, like the Wonder Woman. Okay, she in plain sight you don't recognize her, but then she goes into her costume and it's like, yeah, here I am. Okay, this is the same mindset that these people operate under. It's like, out here in the open, you're not going to know me. But then when I go into my transformation, oh, powerful things are going to happen, but you won't even know that either, because they do that under secret. But it's like these powerful things will happen, okay? But then they have to make up what's causing it. And that's what the whole purpose of the science was, is when these Malekis or these principalities go into their work or whatever they're going to do, they have to cover it up that it's all connected to the Father and his intentions. Okay. So that's the whole purpose. They created the scientific world to hide the spirits, to hide the fact that they knew that the whole purpose, like I said, why the kingdom of Congo being together was such a threat, is because when we're back together, we go and we do exactly what we were supposed to be doing, which is to get rid of the hybrids. Okay. And to restore the balance away from Lucifer's deception. Okay. So then, because Rome was not being honest with their people, and they, like I said, they sensed the spirit had changed when the Most High had regrouped his people and was beginning to restore them to their to what they were supposed to be doing. This is exactly the agenda. That's why now, you know, the darkness is trying to overcome the light in many of us. Like I said, I've been talking to this brother. He's been fighting. I know some other people have been fighting. They've seen what has happened to people in this awakening. They have seen what's going on with people. And I'm like, you don't understand is that This was part of the whole concept. When you go to what Masindisi really said was, he said, and they would also trick the elect. That's what the original said, meaning that you would turn dark, but then the Creator would have to lift up your light. Okay? Why is this significant? Because people don't understand the Creator's going to make it look like he won. Okay? That's why I already saw an example of this, and he got embarrassed when he lost. So the next phase is, I was listening to a lady. I saw her video when she talked about Pluto going into Aquarius and all the things that's going on with what's going on. So I'm gonna link this video in my thing when I do this. It's gonna be calling the 1775 Bible. I want you to stop and think about it, that in 1775 is the establishment of the Prince Hall Freemasons. Okay. Before that, you had the Moors, which were kind of like the Freemasons, but they were more in the Islamic, traditions. But then you had the Knights Templar, which they were not similar. They have similar, but they weren't rituals, but they're not quite the same. But it's kind of like what happens with every religion. The rituals are different, but it's really the same. Okay, they just don't understand this. So, like, for example, there's a goddess that I came across that the Filipinos call, it was a transgender goddess. And what they don't understand is, in Christianity, this is the Virgin Mary, that same goddess. Okay. What she did is every moon and sun god tricked you that they are the god of Abana Saka Yakubi. Okay. And the Holy Spirit. This is the whole concept of how they masquerade. So it's like I said, you didn't leave. So when you become a Christian, they made you think that if you're a Buddhist, you left Buddha and now you're worshiping the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. No, you are still worshiping Buddha, thinking that he's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay? When you left, like, say, for example, when you had the Vikings and the Celts, that they were converted into Christianity and they had their gods. It's like all that happened is their God turned on them to accept the version that they had become in the Christian way. Is that it's like now Odin, which is who they were worshiping, is pretending to be the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. This is how Nimrod got the 12 tribes to go back underneath him all over the world. With the intent that, and the reason why they did this is because they knew that wherever we went as a nation to teach the Most High's way, there had to be the counter in its place. So it's like, we're going to preach a Bant way, they're teaching their way. So then when we come in there, it's like they're going to fight us. They're not going to go along with it. They're going to give us static. Okay. That's part of the reason why when they lied about Native Americans and the things that happened with that, is that there were those of us who had come into their environment already, that some of them started to understand it and others said, no, we're not going to do it. Okay. So when the Christian world came into the mix, okay, they shoved it down their throat, but not realizing it was the same pirate god. because he always going to do that. He's going to shove it down your throat. Okay, he did that when he was making the pyramid that you want to call the Tower of Babel. He's going to shove his way down your throat. Okay, that's why Masindisi, Mfumu Yisuwe Congo, he said, I'm not here to shove this down your throat. Okay, the reality is either you accept it or you don't. It's just that when the judgment comes down upon you from the Most High, okay, you're going to suffer like the heathens do. It's actually going to be, it's going to be like how Sodom and Gomorrah was. It's going to be a purge of the two sides. That's why when you keep saying Christians keep talking about, oh, Jesus is the Prince of Peace. And he literally said, I didn't come to bring peace but a sword. It's like, are you people like don't pay attention? Okay. He never said that. He said, I came to divide the pagans from the non-pagans. And he said the non-pagans will prosper. The pagans will suffer. And if you haven't been paying attention over the last 2,000 plus years, yeah, okay, look at what's going on around the world by Rome and the things that they did. Okay. But he also said, for those of us who choose to go to Most High's way, we also will suffer the wrath of those who don't. And that's part of the issue too. Okay. So that's the whole concept is you're suffering for they have made the people think that in Christianity, their suffering is for the real Messiah when they don't understand, no, your suffering is because you rejected the real Messiah. Okay. And this is the problem. Okay. So it's like our people, we did the same. So it's like they're talking about, oh, Christians are being martyred, and no, you're being destroyed because you rejected the truth. So it became worse for you than Sodom and Gomorrah, just like he said, for the nations. Okay. The same thing happened with, how should I call them? With Islam. Islam never accepted the Messiah. So that's why they're out here killing each other. This is why they're always at war. This is why, even though they claim to be better followers of the law of Moses, why do they still hate each other? Because they don't have the Messiah. So it's like their world will always have no peace. Okay? The only way to have real peace is to be in the real truth. Okay? So what has happened now in these last 7 years is the process of the Creator beginning to eliminate he's really been doing this all along, okay? Because many people have been dealing with this already. But now is the transition to where you're going into the rest or you're not going into the rest. Okay? So it's like the rest period is now coming where the whole earth will be at peace. But for those who rejected the truth, your world, you will be in constant servitude. You're either going to pay it in the fire, which people claim doesn't exist. It's like, okay, whatever. Because if that wasn't true, then they wouldn't be working so hard to stay out of it at this time, because you won't understand that they're not really in the pit just yet. They over it, but they're not in it yet, but they're getting ready to go there, okay? Or you have already been sent there, and that's where you make your deal. See, people understand, when they did the movie End of Days, and that guy was on fire, and he says, I want to come out of the pit, I'll work for you. That is the real thing. But see, that's the whole point, is that person don't ever go back to the Most High. No, that person eventually going to go back to the fire anyway. It's a deception. Okay? That's why some of the people whose souls that you're seeing here, they're dead already because they made a deal. to stay out of that pit. And it's like, you don't get it. It can be done. However, now is going to come the time where we are fighting to keep our people from that side, that they don't even know that they've been played, okay? Because the reality check is, as they will see, everybody's works will be accounted for. But when it comes to the Most High, he has nothing to do with the people that chose to think that Cain was their savior. It's like his concern is, what did his people do for him? And his concern is, what did you do to my people? Okay? These are the two things that are going to be playing out in this next phase, because that's why I told you, I said the world was really stupid to believe the United Nations was really praying to the creator of heaven and earth. No. And to think that, even with Russia, they have been tricked, and the Russians and all that, and China, I mean, everybody has been, okay? The problem is that you see people acting nice. And even the Messiah said, this is possible. You can still be nice as a heathen, because the Creator's law is universal. But it's like, but whose kingdom do you work for is based upon whether or not you get the eternal life or not. Because remember, when he said that to the Pharisees, when he said that they were hiding the way to the kingdom, what it was is, people were doing good things and they were being nice to each other, but they were doing it to appease the Caesar and also the King Herod and the Sanhedrin, in a way that it was like their energy was going the wrong way. Okay? So then what people don't get is, and this is the issue that we're talking about, and I'm going to play a song today too as well. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to do this. Mana kuma say, Mana gonna say set to Yangi Kena Pemba Kalunga Bayetu and Kosi, Asalama Maliki Makongo. We honor Tatanzami Mfumu Yisuwe Kuswakongo the Mona Velala. We honor all the righteous Unkuluntu, all down from Tata Adama to Mama Eva, who did do their part to do the Most High's work, to restore the truth and not the lies. So, okay, and get to. So now, this is where many people are going to find out, okay, even in my struggles, it's like you don't even know that there's many people in this awakening, okay, especially people who have been leading it. They don't understand that there was a plan in place already to sabotage their work. Okay? That plan was already in existence even before they were born. Okay? And on top of that, they made sure that people would believe things that were not true. Okay? So that the people who mattered would be the ones you would reject, and the people who didn't matter would be the people you would keep close to you. So it goes to the understanding that this is the whole concept of being backdoored, because people don't understand what the concept of backdoor really means. Is literally what you're going to tell you is that you're being messed over. Okay, this is why they kind of code this thing to the public, but they don't know that you are being backdoored. Okay, so the people who run the world know that they are actually sending you, they screwed you over, because they know in their world everything is about the phallic and the vajayjay. I'll just say it like that. Okay, everything is about this concept of Sodom and Gomorrah. These spirits, when you're not with the Most High, that's why when you see what the whole history about Rome, Egypt, a lot of these other civilizations, okay, why do you see people using rape and um, why do you see people using these things as tools to control people? Okay, is because it's not about you, it's about them. It's about control. You know, your police officers will even say, yeah, when we encounter rape, it's about power, it's about control. But even they themselves are playing a role in this whole big scheme. That they don't understand is, no, your job is also to keep these people not knowing that they're being messed over. You keep them thinking that they're doing the right things, but in reality, they're getting played. And that's why I said, in this next phase, what's going to happen is people are going to turn on each other. Even in the secret societies, they're going to keep turning. You're going to see what's going to happen is, as more of the reality check hits, okay, the kingdom of when that prince of darkness is out of the picture, and the rest of them are gone, okay, the creator is going to it's going to be a cleansing. It's just like what happened in the days of Noah. People are really not tuning in that he killed these people. I mean, you got to understand, there were a lot of people. Okay. He killed these people. Okay. So it isn't like, excuse me, like all of a sudden when he did this whole rebirth thing, regeneration, rehashing to the earth, the understanding was it stays that way. But he already knew it's not going to. So then I even see this guy who said his logic of seeing things is God killed himself to save us from Satan, who is, I can't remember how it was said. And it's like the logic is totally flawed. Okay. Because you're not understanding the concept that everything is about spiritual temples. Okay. So, people would say that, oh, Christianity just there was no good and evil. Christianity made this up. I'm like, no, this is a lie. Because if you go study all the religions other than Christianity, you're going to see that they had gods that were good and gods that were bad. It's always been like this. Even in Rome, they did this. Even in Greece, they did this. Even in Persia, they did this. Even in Babylon, Nimrod, they did this. That there was a side of the gods that they were battling each other, and one side was the better, and one side was good. Not telling you that this is the punishment for the Watchers and the Nephilim. Okay. They even do this whole, if you think I'm lying to you, just go look at the Hollywood script structures. There's a protagonist and an antagonist. Always. Okay. They're going to be the one you root for and the one you go, woo, the good guy and the bad guy, the villain and the good guy. That has always been the narrative. Okay. They have always done this. Okay. So to say that religion brought this concept, you're listening to the snake himself, because that's baloney. Every civilization had good and bad gods. They know it. Okay? Even in the Norse mythology, they said, Odin and they were the good guy, and Loki, he was the bad guy. Even in Native Americans, you had the one guy that was good, and then you had the trickster. Okay? The one who was trying to trick us and all that. Okay? So don't get into this. This is all part of the deception to bring you back into Egypt and stay there. Because even in Egypt, they had the good gods and they had the bad gods. Remember, Osiris was the good guy and Set was the bad guy. Okay? So don't get in this narrative that Christians are the ones who brought this concept of good and bad. It's a fallacy. They don't want you to know in Banabetu culture, we always had Kadian Zambi and Kadian Pemba. Kadian Congo, okay, Monanza, okay, and Kadian Pemba. We had this. Or we wouldn't even have words for it. Okay? So now I'm going to show you what has happened that many people don't even know, because y'all don't want to listen, but that's fine. Okay? They already did this, and you don't even recognize it. I'm doing the wrong thing here. Sorry. I'm going to share with you the satanic holidays that started during the year, and I'm going to incorporate it to what they did that you didn't even see. All right? Let me get my other thing pulled up here first. Okay. This is why we told people do not celebrate New Year's Day. But anyway, they want to do whatever they want to do, because I'm going to show you what happened that day. It happens every year, by the way. People, Christians, they do the watch night service for Christianity. They do all these different things, and you don't understand is that there's a reason why they changed the beginning of the year from spring to winter. And if you want to have a better idea how they mocked it, it was in The Lion and the Witch and the Wardrobe. Okay, because remember, she was the ice queen. Okay. And that's technically like the one lady I had a conversation with. That's they see. It's funny that Christians will say that the harlot doesn't exist, like Lilith and this stuff. But when you go talk to people who practice paganism, they know. They say yeah, I'm into this and I'm okay. The young lady sitting there telling me, yeah, I'm into the paganism. I do this, I do, and I follow Lilith and this stuff. And it's like you go tell the Christians, hey, Lilith was real. Oh no, it's not in the Bible. I don't see it. I'm like, wow, you people don't even know. The pagans are sitting there telling you, oh yeah, we know, we do this, okay? And it's like, this is how you have been blinded to this concept that she does exist to them, okay? And that's why you're not able to relate, because they know that the New Year's that you're celebrating is for the sun and the moon goddess. And they even have a feast. See, this is the list of the satanic holidays. And if you think that the rich people don't celebrate this, you have been bamboozled, because all of this stuff, see, even when they did the January 6th thing, it was to prepare for the January 7th thing. And you don't even know that they did a ritual on you. Oh yeah, there was they stormed the Capitol. I said there's a wicked feast day that goes all the way back to Jupiter on that day. People don't even tell you that. Okay? So on January 1st, it's a Jewish feast day. Now look at the ages, 15 to 33. Why is this significant? Because it's resembling the fact that in Mosai's world, you become an adult at 15. They literally do this in Osa belief. Okay, you turn from man. This is when you are in the ages of a young man. Okay, and then right after you go, when you go past 33, you're starting to transition to the next phase into 49, and then above that, you become like an elder. Okay, or Nkuluntu. Okay, now all of these things took place in January, and they do this every year. Okay, right around this same time was the New Year's Day game, okay, with the national championship. Okay, now look at the day that they inaugurate the presidents in America. And many of the prime ministers and stuff, they have a lot of inaugurations and stuff. They all fall around feast days because in ancient Babylon, it's every 7 days is a feast day. So you go once every 7, you go 14, right around the 4K. It's the same thing. Now, I want to show you what happened this year that was more powerful because last year was the year of the rabbit for the Chinese thing. And this year, it's getting worse. That's why I told people, and I told a lot of people in their family, don't get comfortable just learning about the Most High. Okay, you got to continue to fight every day because these people know that the Christians are pagan, and they laugh at them, and they just say, "Oh, keep doing what you're doing." That's why even when Anton LaVey he made a joke and he said, "Oh, yeah, we thank the Christians for participating in our holiday," and it don't ever sink in. Okay, it's like, yeah, he's telling you. See, the pagans know the pagan stuff better than the Christians do, and the Muslims and everybody else. Okay, this is why people talk about they mock devil worshippers, and the devil worshippers sitting there saying, "You don't know what you're doing." Okay, they laugh because they're like, "We know what you're doing." That's why Kuso Kongo had to say, "You don't know what you worship. We know what we worship." And see, this is the whole concept of why Paulo said Lucifer has ministers that masquerade as angels with the angel of light. So he also has ministers. Okay? These ministers, their role is to make sure you don't see the mixing of the rituals and the paganism. Okay? They make sure of this. The entire system in the world, contrary to what you believe, is based off of these rituals. That's why, even though everybody else has their own New Year, why do they still celebrate our January 1st with us all around the world? Why China has their own New Year? What's the other ones? Um, there's their own New Year for the Lao people. I know I did that before. I think it's the same time frame as the Chinese New Year. There's a Thai New Year. You know, all these they have different. There's even a different New Year for Europeans. That they one people they have a different New Year. Technically, the Muslim New Year is not January 1st. Okay, but they celebrate it. Okay, some of them celebrate it. It's like, do you not see Saudi Arabia setting off fireworks on January 1st? Yes, they do. So did Dubai, but they're Muslims. Okay, so it's like you go, you see all around the world. They even do it in Sydney, Australia, and Japan, and all. Yeah, the Japanese New Year is not January 1st. Okay, but then why do they participate in it? Because they know it's a Druid feast day, and the Druids run the world. If you think you don't, man, I'm telling you, you've been bamboozled. This is why I came out of these pagan things, because they know this. Because technically, that's what the Kundalini spirit is, a druid, and witch and sorcery, Kindoki. Okay. Then they have these days. You see, they even have a person named Saint, but he's satanic. Okay. So you see, they have these rituals now. What happened was, the lady mentioned, she said that Pluto was going into Aquarius, which I had heard this once before, but I didn't quite understand it. Okay. And I'm going to help you understand when this happened, when people don't even know that they already started drawing the sides with this. When they did this festival, the abduction, the sermon preparation, the holding of sacrifice of victims, sexual and blood, this is the usage of it in female or child of any age. Okay. You don't think they do this? And then, of course, they did the casting of spells. This happened a lot this year. There are a lot of people who participated in this 29th. That's why I told people they were preparing. And it's funny, what happened to me was kind of weird on February 1st, because they were getting ready for this candle mass. Okay. Which, you think the Catholics aren't connected to it? Once again, you are deceived. Okay. You cannot mix the pagan and the non-pagan together. No way. Okay. And they're going to they made the thing that said, oh no, this is the day that Jesus came and he got his circumcision and he was presented to the priest. Lie. Because he was born in the spring. Okay. It's all a big deception. He was born in the springtime. He was not born in the winter. It's a lie. But like we said, hey, you want to keep believing it, go right ahead. Now, we talked about the eclipse that's coming and the many different things that's going on. You see what's going on with what they talk about, the drums of war beating. We're getting ready to go into the month that's named after the god of war. Okay. And so the people don't understand is what's starting to happen is we are transitioning into a major, it's already, I can even sense it right now. That's why I've been trying to purge and cleanse, because there's many people, like I said, I had an encounter with a witch. Okay. She's telling me, the things that they do. And I'm like, yeah, I said, the people don't understand that the Christian church, the Muslim mosque, and the Judaism synagogue are designed to help transmit the energy of the 12 tribes to these people. That's why they love it when we become Satanists, because now it's like you really are transferring your energy. This is why they work so hard to break us to the point where when we reject everything, okay, and then why did they want you to come back to the church? You want to come back to the church, and this is how the Masons being deceptive. When you come back to the church, okay, what they really mean is we need the power to the pastor to be increased. You see, that's why after COVID, and there was a lot of people who left. I saw the signs. People were saying, no, you need to come back to the church. Because you don't understand is they're not going to tell you, and you're not going to know this, but they need us to believe in the same thing that couldn't do anything when this stuff happen. You saw the pastors praying over it. It didn't go away. You saw people talking about in the name of Jesus, stop. It didn't work. Why? Because the Creator was trying to expose Christianity and Islam and Judaism as false. It only worked to a certain extent. But see, then what happened is people didn't know the right way. So then many of them became devil worshippers automatically. Okay? So now you participate more in the worldly things. It's kind of like, I listened to the speech from Malcolm about Elijah Muhammad. And one of his concerns was, he said, if the people stop believing, they'll go back to the stuff that we're trying to get them out of. Okay. But here's how he got played. The way you come away from the things and stay away has to be with the right spirit. However, this is the issue. Contrary to what you think, you are under more pressure to do the things that are wrong when you believe in the real truth than when you're being deceived by the imposter belief. I have learned, and many Christians would vouch for this, and they say, oh, my life changed and everything. Okay? The temptation they keep talking about, oh, there's temptations out there, and blah, blah, blah. Okay? You don't understand. Okay? The right spirit in the Most High is what they want you to stop preaching. Why do you think pastors, imams, and rabbis, or these ministers, why can they stand up there and keep talking? You don't understand. Okay? They're trying to get me to shut up. Always. It's like, no, I have been, everybody's trying to say, this guy, you need to shut up. Okay? No, when do they want you to shut up? They want you to shut up, okay, when you are teaching people how to get away from the things of this world for real. Not just play, for real. Because see, even in the leadership of many of these religions, they're going to justify their behavior to you using the Bible. They're always going to do that. Oh yeah, Solomon had so many wives and this and that, and oh, we're doing these things. The patriarch, okay, yeah, okay. They're going to justify when they go and they start inseminating people and doing sexual things. Oh yeah, this is how, this is what they do. Okay, like he talked about the shaming, and see, that's the concept. Mascendisi did not want us to shame each other the way that they have been teaching it. That's exactly what the Pharisees, Sadducees, scribes, hypocrites, Sanhedrin, that's what they did. Shaming you in front of everybody for this. Okay? Tatanzam, that's why Kuswa Kongo had to come and say, when they wanted to stone Malia Makongo, Magdala. Who among you is without sin? Cast the first stone. And yet, you now have three religions that's doing the exact same thing. They are all casting stones at people. They're still doing it. Why? Because you are being taught by the hypocrites. Okay? So now, The hypocrites want you as a muntu, as a banabetu, as a bena isolele, to continue to fuel their folly. See, most of the Hebrew Israelites don't understand that they're following a Babylonian calendar. They've been lied to about this. Because when you follow the feast days according to Judaism, you are actually, the Judaism is following the Babylonian calendar. They're not doing the Most High's way. These people that follow the Levitical priesthood of the original, if you go by Judaism, your count is always going to be off because they are doing the Babylonian calendar. It's a lie. So then you are still participating in paganism, whether you know it or not. Okay? So now what they have done is they're doing exactly what this lady was talking about. She said, you keep going on with your mess. You know, I'm going to say exactly what she said, but it's like this. Okay? First of all, the biggest lie about science and these so-called people who created it, this is a fallen angel. And this is another fallen angel when they're saying these things. When they're saying that Pluto is going into Aquarius, Pluto is a demon. Don't let these scientists keep fooling you. They are teaching you to just act like it's nothing. These are the gods of the Sanhedrin. Go somewhere with the lies. They hate the white people, they have said so, and they hate us. So they're going to keep teaching you that this name and this God is just some arbitrary planet that they just know. This is their God, one of them, and this is another one of their gods. Okay? So then when they say that this is going into, on January 20th, they said the planet, which is really going back and forth, the two signs in the zodiac between Capricorn. Remember, Capricorn is the symbol for the goat god and the mermaid. Okay? Then you have the water pitcher bearer. Now, many of us are born under these signs, but you got to know the difference between the good spirit and the bad. Okay? Now, it says, and they'll finally be setting up the shop by the end of the year. Okay? This is now 20. It says, and then it says, will remain there. Now, here's what they did, and you didn't see it. Over the course of this, that's why I'm going to do the scripture where it says, have nothing to do with their folly. Ephesians, which we know episode is how you really said it. Okay, let's go. We're going to go to the CJB just because it's going to be a little bit more. I'm going to read the whole thing of Ephesians 5. Now, one of the things that many Christians will say is it says, so imitate God as his dear children. So then they create their congregation as if they're imitating the God of Abana and Saka Yakubi, which they call Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Those names didn't exist, but whatever. Okay? So now they're saying, oh, we're setting up our congregation to imitate this creator. No, they're not. Because the whole system that was set up is controlled by the Jesuits and the secret societies. It's a lie. So when you walk into these congregations, you're never imitating the God of Abana and Saka Yakubi. You're imitating the one who pretends to be the God of Abana and Saka and Yakubi. Okay? And the lie is Satan pretends to be love. How do we know this? Have you ever been in a relationship when you fell in love with the wrong guy or the wrong woman? There was love in the beginning, right? Do you think that he don't do this all the this is how it really works. See, because they're lying to you that says that they don't understand that Jacob and Esau switched places, okay? So now they're in these churches saying that, oh, God loves everybody. How can he love people that practice paganism? He said even to his own people, okay? It's either, even Elias said, it's either Baal or him. It can't be both. There would be no reason for him to send his people into captivity at all if he just loved everybody. So they have taken your brain and turned it into mush because they're using you to steal from him. And even that's what the rabbinical guy, the rabbi said, yeah, we weren't making as much money when you became Protestant, so we created the Jesuits and we went in there and we started making people called heretics, and anything that was not what we wanted, you didn't follow. And so you never stopped being Romans. And they lied about it. They made you think that you stopped being Catholic, but you weren't. Even as a Seventh-day Adventist, you're still a Catholic. It's a lie. Okay? So it says, so imitate who? What God? See, and that's the concept is when they put the word God there, they made you think it is the true God. No, because if you imitate the real true God, you're going to find out that you cannot mix any of the pagan ways with his way. It's not possible. Because there's no, he's all light, no darkness. Okay? And then he says, live a life of love just also as the Messiah loved us. Indeed, on our behalf, give himself up as an offering, as a slaughtered sacrifice to Tatanzambi with pleasure, with pleasing fragrance. Now, here's where the Christian has been deceived by the synagogue of you know who. Okay? They made you think that the Messiah loves pagans. But then you go and read, all you got to do is go read Revelation. And he says, who, or even when he says, who is my mother, who is my brother, those who do the will of my Father are like me. And then he even told his disciples to say, only go into those who are worthy. If they're not found worthy, then bring the peace back and shake the sandals and keep stepping. Okay? You're living in the biggest lie you've ever been told about Massendicy. The high priest cannot have a temple that is spotted. No. The high priest cannot have a temple that has blemish. No. That is what we got in trouble for all the time with the Most High. Hello? You keep jacking up the temple. I'm going to tear it down. Every time. You keep making it dirty. You keep bringing in this stupid pig god up in here. Yeah? Reaping for Tammuz all the time. Well, guess what? That's what these people did. They tricked you thinking that you're not weeping for Tammuz when you are. And so now, with these pagan feast days, the whole world just got ritualized over the last, since February 1st until now. They have done and switched up the rituals, so now you will be locked into Cain. The only people that are going to find, they're going to find at this point, whenever the Most High does what he's going to do, the only people that will usually find exemption are the children. Why? Because he's going to go off of who taught them this. Okay? The teachers are going to be, I told people, the teachers are going to be more impacted than the students. You're going to find out in the next few months to even a year as they have transitioned into this. You were always teaching the education system of Cain. You are poisoning the lost sheep, and you're doing it both in the religions and in the education system, because they made you think that everybody was the same. When it's like, no, the people who run the world, they know the difference between all the different bloodlines. It's a lie. They know who comes from Amalek. They know who comes from Jebusite. They know who comes from Kemet. They know who comes from Canaan. They know all of these things. Okay? And they doggone know for sure who comes from Yakubi, Jacob, Abanasaki. They know the bloodline. Okay? And this is why they tricked the Hivites, the Jebusites, the Amorites, all these other different, they know that you still exist. Okay? The Yapeta, Gomer, okay, Ashkenaz, they know these bloodlines. And they're lying to you. Chaldean, they know who they are. Okay? They know who's Persian and all these things. And it's a big lie. Okay? So it says, among you there should not be mention of sexual immorality or any kind of impurity or greed. These are the utterly inappropriate for Tatanzambi's holy people. Now, this is the issue that people don't understand. Because he sent his whole kingdom into captivity. Because he did that, we are constantly surrounded by these things. Also out of the place are obscenity and stupid language and coarse language, and said you should be giving thanks. For this you can be sure. So here's what happened is, because we got cast out, we are participating in all of these things on a daily basis. And what it does is it lowers your vibration all the time. This is why they want people this is why they want Bantu people or Bakongo or Israelites, you want to say that, Isolde. This is why they want you to be among sexual immorality, impurity, greed, inappropriate obscenity. They want you to be on coarse language. They want you to be around all these things, okay? Acting that just because when you go to church that you are no longer a part of this. It's a lie. Because that's why one of the scriptures that they lied about, I can see if I can pull it up, where he says, if you don't stop sacrificing to idols, then anger will never cease from you. I think it's Barnabas. Okay. I'm going to see if it pulls it up. No. Let me go to the ancient text. I think it's in Barnabas. Is Barnabas there? Or is it Philip? I think it might be in this one. Let me go back and look. All I know is what it says is that he said, so yeah, we're going to start with this part. It says, a follower cannot convert someone to become a follower, and they will refer to him as a novice. But a novice cannot make another novice. They cannot make others like themselves. They are accepted by their others as they are. Okay, so what happened is, in the belief that was created over the last 1900 years, they turned everybody into a novice. And they're saying followers are converting followers. Okay? The servant may seek to be freed, but doesn't seek the estate of his master. The follower will not be devoted, but receives himself the inheritance of the Creator. Okay? That's why the whole slavery thing that they keep trying to teach people is a bunch of lies. That's why Philip isn't in there. Okay? Those who are ready to accept those or who are dead are themselves dead, as they are accepting the dead. Okay, why is the gospel of Philip not in the scriptures? Is because it's going to show you there's a difference between the living God for real and the dead God pretending to be the living God playing play. Okay, because now, like I said, is when you mix the pagan with the non-pagan together, you are going to be dead. This is why you cannot see the spirits that are actually taking your power. As you're sitting there doing the praise and the worship, there are those who are master masons. I'm telling you, they're pastors. These people, the 33rd degree Mason and above, are warlocks, and so are the women. They are witches. They stand in the pulpit preaching. I'm telling you this. I told you why, the reason why it's called a pulpit. That's why they don't like me, because I'm giving away all these secrets that they never told you. Why is it called the pulpit? Because you're going to the pit of Apollyon. You're not coming away from it. Now you're going to go and question them. Wait a minute. Is that why? No. That guy's crazy. Of course I'm crazy. Because they need to work for the people who pay their check. You don't pay. You're not going to get paid if you don't preach what they want to hear. That's where the wealthy people want. Why do you think the wealthy people sit up in the churches? That pastor knows, as long as I'm praying, preaching and praying, and good sermon, pastor, and this and that, they're going to get the check. What is that? Remember, every check and every note is drawn off of a bank. I had this argument with so many financial people, you don't understand. The financial system, if you go high enough in it, there's a lady who even came out and talked about it. I played her videos years ago when she broke down the financial sector, and she worked for the Lords of London and all this stuff. She said the only reason why she was really protected, because it's like they could have killed her for the stuff that she was saying, but the Most High wanted her to be heard. Okay? And she started explaining to you how the system really works. Okay? When I find the video, I'll share it again. I have it saved. I have to pull it up. Okay? And there's another person who sent me another one who said, yeah. I said, yes, I know this. That's why I'm disqualified. I have told people this. I'm like, no, if you know how the banking system works, they want to disqualify you because you're going to be telling other people. You are following legalized thief and saying that it's okay. They're legally stealing in the banks from you. That's how they control the people who make the laws about it. Okay? People don't understand why they make trusts. And when they go out and they buy all this property and they go to different places and they say, I'm going to buy $37 million worth of acres of this rainforest, my property. From whom? Who sold it? Who was living there? Oh, there was nobody there. You sure? You don't understand. I was listening to Brother Joshua. I still have respect for that man. I have respect for that man because he's breaking down a lot of truth, okay? Like the most truth is truth, no matter who say it. I'm gonna say his last name. I'm so sorry, brother. Um, the one that Yanata met. Um, he he started talking about the Chinese, and I'm like, oh yeah. I said because people don't remember the Chinese are the children of Japheth. Many of them are descendants of them. Okay, so they and Ashkenaz are in cahoots anyway. They're the same patriarch. Okay, many of the Asian people are Japheth. That's why when I showed a picture to Yanata, he said in Thailand there were the darker skinned Thai people. He's like, yeah, those are Japheth. They don't remember. I told you they know they're dark. They just lie about it. Okay, and um, they knew when we showed up in their land the difference between us and them. Don't think they didn't know, and they put us right at the bottom. Go down, pow, pow. Go, they spit on you. Oh, you don't even know. This is why Tatanzami said, "You don't get it. The 12 tribes are spit on around the world, and they don't even know it. The people who know who you are, pow, pow, they're spitting on you. Don't think they're not. Okay." So we went down. We're on the bottom. We're the Bantu people. The Bakong. This is why people don't want to identify with this. They say, "Oh no, this the Hamid." They don't, because the concept is that the real 12 tribes are garbage right now to the world. You just don't know that. You're spit. Pow, pow. That's why they spit on us. Pow. They kick you. Of course, then they have their people who say, no, don't do this to these people. Be nice. And they're looking at you. You know who this is. That's why they look at you like an idiot. Hey, you don't know. These people are going to make your life hell in the future. Okay? Why? Because we stole them. Okay? This is the part they don't want you to know. Okay? Go read Isaiah 14. You didn't read it? You know who that is? See, that's why they're doing that part, their part to say they made Isaiah 14 about Gog. If you read it, okay? So now Philippi, he says, those who really ready, okay, he said, those who are ready to accept the living one are themselves alive, and they are ready to accept the living one along with those who are dead. See, there was a brother, he was Italian. I don't know, I'm sorry, it was a sister. I'm so sorry, I think it was a sister. That was Italian. She says, I'm Italian. I told you this. I think it's her. If it's not, I'm really apologize. I told her to tell me. I can remember because she tell me if she's mad over. It was a guy. It's a he. But they said, I know we're messed over. I said, no, you don't get it. Okay. Our role as Bantu people, as Banabeti Ibisolele, is that we are doing a disservice to the world right now. Even the Hebrew Israelites are doing a disservice to the world right now, how they're acting. Because see, even the real creator said, this is not, you are a stranger in their land. Remember how he said you treat the stranger. Now, does it mean that you just get stepped on and walked all over? No. But the problem is we put ourselves in that position already because we have no business being out of the land of Canaan. That's the problem. We have no business being out of the land of Canaan where we're not supposed to be. Okay? This is the issue. So now it says, for those who are dead are not ready to accept anything. Exactly. That's why you can't preach this to people who are dead and want to stay that way. That's why you're going to get rejected by your family members, why you're going to get rejected by your co-workers, why you're going to get rejected by everybody out here when you have figured it out. No, the churches are not alive. They're dead. They're just making a lot of noise to make it look good. You're putting on a show for the dead people. We're going to raise the dead. No, you cannot raise the dead if you are in the wrong spirit. That's why I told people, and they mock it. They said, "What do you mean raise the dead? How can you know?" I'm like, "You don't understand. Do you read the Bible?" "Oh yes, I read." "No, you do not read the Bible. If you read the Bible, you would hear when he said, 'Cast out the demons, make the blind see, make the lame walk, raise the dead.'" And he wasn't just talking about the person who is spiritually dead. He meant out of the ground too. Okay? Somebody even showed this video where they did an entire graveyard, had bodies that got pulled out of it. I know what they're doing is part of the setup because they're testing it, but you're going to see what's coming. Okay? You're going to see the real version versus the fake version really soon. And it says here, because they have these what they call anti-gravitational thing. You're gonna see the Beam Me Up Scotty. They're working on it. It says here, those who are dead are not ready. So if one who is dead accepts the living one, he will not die. That's why we keep trying to tell people there are those of us, we never died. If you accepted the living one a long time ago, Christians don't have a clue about this. The people who were saved by Masserading in the past, they never die. So their spirit lives on. And then they can also do things. Okay? Now watch this. Now listen to why they want you to become materialistic. A materialistic person does not die because he was never living in order to die. So when you are a capitalist mentality, and you're living in this concept of what they're calling prosperity or wealth, or people having, this type of things, okay, these people are dead. This is why they made you go after things, nice car, nice house, whatever, materialism, okay? At the same time, though, if you still believe in the concept that they have given people about the stock market and all this stuff that they've done and about houses and everything, you are still a materialistic minded person because they turned you into what's called a narcissistic Christian. And what that means is you see the body of Christ as an individual, not as a whole. So it's all about my family and your family, but then we're all supposed to be together. It's like, nah, you're not getting it. You're concerned about what's going on in your household, and you're not paying. And the other Christians are concerned about what's going on in their household. But then, how do you come together? It's not until you see each other out in the public. Okay, that's wrong, completely, 100% wrong, because the Masserading said, and this is the concept, is the Banabetu, the whole 12 tribes family. We take care of each other, whether it's mom, dad, cousin, uncle. This is why we had this system in place even during slavery. Why do you think they had to start selling the different family members to different directions? Because it breaks up the unit. They knew this. You break apart the people, you take apart the system that they had, it weakens the bond and turn them like how they did to the Gentiles. The Gentiles were only concerned about it based upon their own personal perspective. They weren't thinking about all the other people as the same. Now, is this always the way it is? No, because we taught them how it wasn't supposed to be like that. We raised their children, remember? Most of the nannies were black. You don't get it. We took care of their house and everything. That's why they had us wearing the white gloves so we didn't steal. You don't understand. Okay? He was alive since the time that he anointed, okay? One who trusts in the truth will live. Now, this is why they have to go and tell people who are in Judaism and Islam and Christianity and Hebrew Israelites or whatever you want to call these things, okay, you have the truth. Okay? Why do they have to say it like that? Because the whole concept is if you think you have the truth, you will think that you're going to be alive when you die. This is the whole construct of the deception of Lucifer. If I make you think that you're going to live, then you're going to keep working for me. If you don't think you're going to live, you're going to stop working for me. You don't get it. They know when the world finds out, they will stop working. Boom, wait a minute. I'm working for who? That's the end of the road, Jack. That's why they had to make sure that they kept ritualizing people to keep buying in and buying in. That's why they said you got to buy in. They always tell you that. They go to the when you're buying in, no, you got to buy into this. Even in sports, you got to buy in. We got to all be on one lockdown. Why did they tell you that? Because if you don't buy in, it goes back to what Ephesians says. You're going to wake up when he says this. Okay? For of these you can be sure, every sexually immoral, impure, or greedy person, that is every idol worshiper, has no share in the kingdom of the Messiah and of the Mfumu Tatanzambi of the God. Let no one deceive you with empty talk, for because these things that Tatanzambi's judgment is coming for those who disobey him, so don't become partnership with them. Bam! That's why the kingdom of Congo then Totila blew the whole thing with a first episode. Okay? When the kingdom of Congo then Totila started to have partnership with Rome, okay, you did exactly what this says. You became sexually immoral, impure, and greedy people. But then, once they had it all brought together, they said, okay, to be greedy, to be immoral is a sin. Pay your tithe, please. Okay? We got to pay for the church. And I kept telling people, I'm like, man, the 12 tribes never had to worry about where the things were coming from to build what was their kingdom. No. Masindisi said, don't take what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow take care of itself. Your father feeds the birds and then he's going to feed you. He's going to take care of your needs, which means he's going to give you what you need to build the way he wants you to build it. You don't just build things your own way. This is the concept and the mentality of what you call reprobate and an idol worshiper. You're going to, the devil going to, you don't understand. The devil going to let you build it however you want. One of the things I even noticed, I said, I went, and I remember this. Most churches, do you know that they don't face the east? Go look and see, go back to the church. See if the altar and where the pastor sits faces the east. You know why? Because that's Zion. They had the Muslims facing Mecca, they faced the East. That's why they had to change it from the Temple of Solomon to, like what Muhammad said, to Mecca. You know why they changed it to Mecca? Because they don't want the Bantus facing Mount Zion. You know what's going to happen if Bantu people start to face Mount Zion? Oh, you wake up. Now, it's not about the mountain. I mean, or the Temple of David when you face the right way. Okay? They know this. The sanctuary, where the sanctuary is. But now you look up because the sanctuary is where? All over as you face the east. People don't understand. The whole reason why you pray and look up is because the sanctuary is all around you. Why do you got you praying looking down? Because the devil don't want to look at your face. They tricked you with that. You don't bow your head down. The reason why you're bowing your head down, you think it's to God. It's like, no, you're bowing down to the idiot. And you got him. Now he got you deceived. There's people even said they made us bow down so they could steal. And so now you're conditioned to this. Okay? So it says, for you used to be in darkness, but now united with the Mfumu, you are in light. So you want to know what happened? This scripture right here is coded as a mockery to the Christians and to all the other people. You know why? Because they went back to, Bantu people 500 years ago, we went back to the darkness. We are no longer united. We were no longer united with the Mfumu when we became Christians, Muslims, and Judaism. You're not united with him. You are with the false light, not with the real light. Live like children of the light. So now, guess what? If you're not united with the real light, you cannot live like children of the light. That's why you cannot tell anybody, oh, that Christmas tree is a phallic. Liar. No, it's not. You're following the pagan calendar. No, I'm not. Now you're going to tell them, we're not supposed to be participating. Who told you this? You are talking to Baal. I don't think so. No. Of course they're going to tell you that. Why are they going to say that? Because they have been conditioned to say, no, I'm united with the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Get out of my face. Really? Then how come you don't see what the George Washington Monument is? Or what the Statue of Liberty is? Oh, those are American. All right, man. You don't see what the dome is? I can't help you. This is why you're going to tell people. I said, all right, I'm telling you. Okay? But see, in this system, you have, I said, they're all around the world, though. It's not just here. They got the domes in South America and the phallic, in Russia, everywhere. They got these things. Why are they there? For the fruit of light is every kind of goodness and righteous and truth. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put the brakes on here. How can you be the fruit of the light if you're learning the things that are bad? This is the problem. If you are calling good evil and evil good, you don't have the fruit of the light. So now, what they have just done to all the people who won and watched, that's why I had to get away from sports, because I'm like, I could see the players were starting to do things. I never opened my eyes. I'm like, whoa, I know what that hand signal was. I'm not, no. I know what that means. Okay, they're throwing these things up and you don't see them because why? You're just into your team. Because you're in that spirit. Like it's just like a song. When you love a song, you become part of that song. When you love a team, you become part of that team. When you love this, you become part of that. Your spirit now gets separated into different things. Oh, I love, like when people say, oh yeah, Usher, man, Usher came out there in the outfits that are for the high priest of the temples of Egypt. And I'm sitting there like, y'all didn't see that? These clothes are not, you don't even know what they're wearing is satanic. Oh, but I love this. No, and see, that's why they blinded the Christian. You get wrapped up in the secular world, even though they claim, oh, I have Jesus, I have the Lord, I have God. I'm like, hey, I'm telling you, you are ruining your family because you are giving them over to spirits that don't belong there. And you think it is not happening in the church, you lie. This is the problem. If you think it's not happening in the mosque, you lie. If you think it's not happening in the synagogue, oh, you definitely lie. You are not going anywhere that's any different than when you go to a Buddhist temple or when you go to a Hindu temple or when it's all the cow god. They just making it look like it's the real God. I'm like, no. You're going to find out that Cain is a liar. Okay? Everything about the Jesuits and the Khazars and everything is about Cain and and all these gods that they worship as Canaanites and as Edomites and as Jebusites and as Amalek and as all these different things. You don't understand. I told you even in my last teaching that God that the Russians used to worship before Christianity is still their God. Yes, he is. It's still Zeus. Okay? Try not to determine what will please. See, try not to determine what will please the Mfumu. Have nothing to do with the deeds produced by darkness. Instead, expose them. This is why I'm the most hated person now ever. I can tell you that right off the bat. The people who actually love me are the ones that are glad that I'm out here telling them about this stuff. They're like, wow, I was talking to a guy yesterday while I was delivering. He's like, man, you blowing my mind right now. Yeah, because if you don't see it, you don't know. But then there's those around who hear me talking and they're a part of it. Oh, we better shut that down. They always do this. Because then, especially if you come from the 12 tribes, if you stop participating in their folly, they lose their power over you. It's a fact. So now they made sure that over this last 2 months, as they have seen many of us breaking free, they doubled down on their intention to pull us back. Oh, you don't even know. And then those who were already sucked in, you got sucked in all further. You went down the rabbit hole so far, you can't even see the top now. The problem is now is going to when the Most High going to have to come to the rescue to pull you out of that pit for many of us who are considered still chosen. Because he's like, no, the children, they think they're going to continue to pull the children down with them. Lucifer going to keep coming after your children. He ain't stopped. He been coming after the children of the Most High since the beginning. He got so many people's children locked in that now it's like to tell you something, they're going to bite your head off. Oh, you can't tell me. I know. Okay. I let them. You stupid. You the idiot out here. You don't know what you're talking about. Fine. Like the days of Noah, you don't get it. Cain has several different ways that he has created to keep the path in his direction. Okay? So, of course, they're going to keep sending out the people to come after me. You stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, because Cain is losing. He don't like that. Lucifer is losing the battle. The more Bantu people, the Bakongo people, the Benin Zombie, that we pull back to King Congo, of course they're going to say, you worship a pagan god. Really? Do you even know him? How do you know King Congo is a pagan god? Who told you that? Where does that come from? Where is the history on this god being a pagan? Just because they wrote it down, that doesn't mean he is. Who wrote that down that he was pagan? The colonizer or his people that worshipped him? Oh, but see, all gods are pagan. We know we have the Yahuwah is. I'm like, Yahuwah is Congo. No, they're not the same. Yahuwah, Yepoah, Yahuwah is Congo. No way. He's a pagan god. Okay. And see, that's the whole concept, is that as long as it is see, here's what's happening. It's affecting the people who are making the wealth off of what they have created with these people. It's like, no, it's starting to impact the bottom line. So we need to cut this. Because the bottom line is all the wealth must stay in Esau's corner, never, or Cain's corner, never back in the kingdom of Congo de Ntotela. Why do you think they're talking about all the killing that's going on right now? Okay? And it's a sad thing. The reason why Congo is getting killed is because Congo went to the wrong god. If Congo wants to stop the killing that's going on in the Congo, then you need to remember that Congo is not just your country. He is the creator of heavens and earth. This is what brings the about face. Boom! Hey, you can't touch me now. Bullets bouncing off of you and everything. You don't get it. They will run. Okay? The angels will now come to fight. Hey, where you at? Where they at? Yeah, where they at? Okay? Lucifer's lying to you. The Maleki Congo are the angels of truth. This is all crap from the people you want to keep listening to with your itchy ears. The Christians don't know him because they were already dead, preaching the dead God to us. Oh, that's why the power went. Oh, I'm mortal now. You are the immortal Superman that used to exist. Now you gave it to the stupid Superman that's fake. You're powering up Tammuz. Yeah. The god of Thor, lightning. Okay? He eating up all your power. You gotta understand. Tammuz is just, oh yeah. Oh yeah. He need to go down. Oh, my power gone. Okay? Get up. Telema, sleeper. What's the kulala? You're sleeping. Get up. Arise from the dead, and the Messiah will shine on you. That's what they don't want to see. When Yesiah is now shining upon you, the high priest, That makes all the imposters start to say, "Oh no, we're gonna get it." They're not gonna tell their followers that they're in trouble. You see, they're not gonna tell you that. Therefore, pay careful attention to how you conduct your life. Live wisely, not unwisely. That use your time well, for these are evil days. He's not talking about 2024. He was talking about 2,000 years ago. So don't be foolish, but try to understand what the Mfumu, the what the will. Watch this. Try to understand what the will of the Mfumu is. What is the will of God? Oh, people will say, "Oh, to take care of my family, have a good life." No, man, get out of mental slavery. His will is for the chosen people to teach the right way. Period. To live the right way. Period. With no idol worship. Christians are worshiping idols every single day. That's why they're clueless. Muslims are worshiping idols every single day. Judaism, they already know that because they put it on. They did it, okay? They know this. That's why the dude said, "We know our God is Lucifer. We know we worshiping an idol." Okay? They want everybody worshiping Cain just like them, and they did that. You just don't know. So now they even made it worse. They doubled down on it with all their people that they have turned into their robots using the you know what method. You don't even want to go there, okay? And they are now programmed to suck you in the rabbit hole even further. And that's what they have been doing this whole year. They have doubled down on the fact that we will not go back to where we came from. Even in the land, they are doubling down. I told people, I said, it's going to get crazy. You haven't seen nothing yet. Now watch. I'm going to show you. With this ritual, and they're preparing for it, will begin your World War III. I kid you not. They want this. This is why they're poking the bear and whatever they're doing. Go to March the 1st. Drinking of human blood. Whose human blood do you think they're drinking the most of? You're going to find that out. For strength and homage to these. These are your vampires, people. Any age, male or female. Preferably who? The lost sheep. Shh, shh. The one that demanded. We're going to drink. We're going to drink. Okay. The Ides of March. Let me show you why the people were even tripping like, man, there was some earthquakes in San Diego. You see how they just had a flood. Where do you think most of this stuff is happening, people? In Las Vegas. I watched the temperature. Do you know, it wasn't a coincidence. The Kansas City Chiefs were in the first Super Bowl with a team that had a letter G on the side. The Green Bay Packers. You think that G just stands for Green Bay, you better go open your eyes. Okay, it's not true. All right. So now you look at what just happened with this past weekend. It was the first Super Bowl is 67 years. No, 57 years, sorry. 57 years when they had the AFL and the NFL come together. The NFL was already in existence. The AFL was then formed, and they then put them together. That's why people have been claiming saying, is this all rigged? Because the NFL is always, was to become the NFC. That's why they were usually the ones winning most of the games over the generations. If you see, most of the Super Bowls were won by the NFL, NFC. And then there were AFC and NFC that started to also do it. Okay? That's why people were saying, man, how come the Raiders don't? Okay, I know why the Raiders don't win. You don't even know. Okay? And then, of course, you had John Madden and all that stuff. You don't understand is that it is rigged a certain way to where the NFL that was the original NFL is more of the powerhouse. Now you see that when it first started, the NFL beat the AFL. Now you see this last Super Bowl, the team that was part of the AFL just won back-to-back against the old NFL. Because you see they beat, San Francisco was one of the newer teams back in the 60s. Okay? Then you had, they beat the Eagles. The Philadelphia Eagles are one of the older teams of the old NFL. Okay? You don't understand that these two teams, when you look at the Eagles and the 49ers, 49 makes a what? A 13, which is a 4. Hail to the chief. Who is really the chief they hailing? You don't know what chief they're talking about. You think it's the creator? No, that's not the hail to the chief they do it. Okay? So now they're getting ready to do, now look at the dates. You have satanic rebels that came on the 2nd. They just did a ritual. Now you have the pagan Leprechaun coming up. Leprechaun, okay? Which they have coded over as St. Valentine's Day. And it's like, if you really knew the truth about St. Valentine, you're going to be like, oh my gosh. But the army's like, hey, you think these people were saints? It's a lie. Okay? You think it's okay for this Cupid and stuff. I remember my wife liked the song, The Cupid Shuffle. The Cupid is Tammuz. With the bow, shooting the arrow to make mom and daddy fall in love. Who is mommy and daddy? You don't get this. Okay? So now, when you look at what's going on with these months, it's not a coincidence that now you get it closer into what was the real beginning of spring. And if you go back and you go look at the Babylonian calendar, they started the new year in March, in the springtime. It was like this. So now you go into this. Now see, you think the word Sabbath comes from us or them? See, Sabbath festival, major fertility Sabbath. Oh, we're going to be in some big time, you know what going on. Look at this. Everything, any age, babies, children, teenagers, adults, old people. If you don't think that they do this, you have lost your mind. Oh, yeah. And you have to actually prove it. You got to show him, did they do it? Where's the proof? That's why they filmed this stuff, and they turned it into the porn industry. That's why you see now, you see people making their own, they make a lot of this amateur, they call it, okay? And it's becoming a big deal. Children, I mean, you don't get it, okay? Because they have to get, whenever they do what they do. And now why do you think they're encouraging Black people to get involved with these stuff? Swingers started with, you don't even know, swingers, oh my. When you look at the people who used to start the nudist colonies and the swingers, okay? They will talk trash about Black people who get involved with these things that you don't even understand. Of course, Africans, whatever, okay? But you don't get it is that Banabetu Visolele, when we get involved with these activities, okay, you are becoming those spirits. And I can tell you right now, it's a fight every day. Like I said, because when I'm dealing with this fight always, because I know people who know my history and my family, they know this, okay, is that they don't understand it was done intentional. And they're gonna find out more about this because see, the secret societies know that they have to keep their mouths shut. They play dumb. They need our power to keep being where they are. They don't get rich if they don't bring us to their master. It's a lie. They don't stay rich if they don't get us sucked in. So they need us to keep buying into their lie. Like I said, and like I told people, I said the people who run this stuff, they don't give a doggone about the other nations. You are spit to them, and we're really spit to them. They don't care. Okay? They even have a Good Friday day of passion, and they call it the death of Christ. But you want to know how foolish this is? They are going to laugh at you because they're going to know that that's really, we're celebrating Tammuz. They said that the Christians think that it says Easter Eve and all this stuff. They're going to sit there and say, oh, yeah, we're mocking the Christians and their Messiah. But shh, the Christians and their Messiah is really Tammuz. Shh. They know. Because Masindisi, and even in South Africa, the people who are devil worshippers or people who have visited South Africa or even Africa, they've seen the Bantu people practice the Passover in the springtime in the Southern Hemisphere. And they're trying to figure out, now, why are you doing it then and not like how the other people are? April Fool. Because they said it's wrong. It's not that day. There's people that they come down and they wear all the white. I have seen them. They wear all the white and they come down and they prepare for the Ipaseka in the springtime in South Africa, wearing all the white. You don't even know. They don't see this coming out now. Okay? Even Mayamona, when he did incorporate it into the Roman dates, he said it's Thursday. It's actually, he said they got it wrong. It's not even on a Friday. Because for one, like I told people, it starts with the beginning. You count 14 days from the beginning of the year, and that's when the Passover starts, from the spring. See, technically, you're supposed to count 14 days from the spring equinox, and that's the Passover. They're not telling the truth. Okay? But see, we did it with the Southern Hemisphere. So now, what I'm telling you is, all of this stuff here, and right around this time is going to happen that they're going to be doing of course, that equinox, that whole thing about the eclipse. It don't happen the way that the scientists tell you, but it's going to happen. And what's going to transpire is, as I have said to people, okay, and I'm going to go to the scripture that proves it, that this is exactly what you have been doing, and they're lying about it. Let's go back to what the epistle. This is the epistle or the wisdom of Solomon. Hear therefore, all you kings, and understand and learn that ye be the judges of the ends of the earth. Give ear that ye rule the people and the glory in the multitude of nations. For the power is given to you of the Mfumu and sovereignty from the highest, who shall try your works and search out your counsels. Because being ministers of this kingdom, you have not judged aright, nor kept the law, nor walked after the counsel of Tatanzambi, the Mfumu Yahweh Kongo. Horribly, Yapoa, in Kulu Kulu, Yahuwah, whatever. Horribly and speedily shall be to come upon you, for a sharp judgment shall be to them that be in the high places. For mercy will soon pardon for mercy will soon pardon the meanest, but mighty men shall be mightily tormented. For he which is the Mfumu over all shall fear no man's person, neither shall he stand in the awe of any man's greatness, for he hath made the small and the great, and cared for all alike. For a sore trial shall come upon the mighty. Yep, that already happened. You've been found guilty. Boom, the gavel dropped. Unto you, therefore, O kings, do I speak thee that you may learn wisdom and not fall away. Yeah, you already did that long time ago. For they that keep holiness, holy shall be judged holy. And if they have learned such things, shall find the answer. So here's what's going to happen. The Tatanzam, the Mfumu, has found all of the nation's kings guilty of not judging rightly. Every last one of them. Okay? He has also found the leadership of every community in the world guilty. He has also found everyone who you think is in your churches and that are doing right teachings guilty. Okay? Because what he's going to tell you is you have not done according to the works of me, but the wicked one pretending to be me. And so now anybody who is pretending like they don't work for him is now going to be pulled out of they're going to be exposed. And I'm telling you, I'm talking about all the people that have been under oath. You're going to see, and this is the reality that's coming. You're going to see brawling in the schools. You're going to see brawling in the churches. You're going to see brawling in the synagogues, in the mosques. You're going to see brawling on the streets. You're going to see all these things. Okay? Now, don't be surprised that it's also going to incorporate with this beam me up Scotty stuff, because that's why you think the aliens keep showing up. They're demons, okay? Forget about that garbage. And some of them are the Most High has his and they have theirs, okay? But the problem is that it's all part of the game. The creator's going to say at this point, he's going to give you exactly what you think instead of what is. So the whole gathering of the tares is going to be affiliated with your belief. Seriously. Anything that the sorcerer has made you believe or tricked you with and thinking that it's the right way or you're following the right shepherd, you're going to now be a part of this system. Because they have now in this, with the Super Bowl, with Candlemas, with this whole thing about Pluto going to Aquarius, they have now initiated you into the house of Baal and welcomed you as a member through this whole ritual. And it's going to continue when you participate in Fat Tuesday and you participate in Ash Wednesday, and you keep going until you get all the way down to the Easter that's coming. I'm telling you, I'm gonna tell you point blank. The Messiah never added a feast day for his fast. Garbage. Lent is all about Tammuz. If you don't want to believe me, and you want to believe what the Catholic Church told people, and you want to believe what those people wrote down, you be my guest. He never added a feast day for that. It was a way to appease the pagans who were weeping for Apollo, who was Tammuz. I'm telling you, Constantine, oh boy, there was no Lent in our feast days. What you giving up for Lent? You're supposed to have been giving it up already. What are you talking about? You should have never gone back. What are you talking about giving up? That's the deception. You should have never had to give up anything already because it's all part of their lie. What do you think? What do you mean giving up? You should have already given it all up. You don't get, they play this game with you. It's like, man. And I feel foolish myself because it's like, I knew something didn't feel right all my years. But see, when you're like that, you are the threat to them. They know that you're going to expose them. They don't want you around or they're going to come after you. Okay? The Jesuits know that they're lying to you. But they're not going to tell you that. The Sanhedrin, they know that they're lying to you, but they're not going to say that. Now they got Christians out here talking about, oh, prophecies being fulfilled with the false Messiah. Man, the prophecy was already fulfilled. You don't even know who the guy is. That stuff that they're doing up there in Jerusalem is for the show for the idiots that they already tricked. That's how they look. I'm not calling you that. That's what they say. It's like, this is for the idiots. We already done put the false guy in place. They don't even know. I'm telling you. They put the false guy in place already to deceive the people that were supposed to be deceived. You don't get it. He said, this part is for show for the dumb, stupid, okay? This is what they're doing. They said, oh, yeah, we done got these Christians believing this lie. Okay, this is for the... They know, okay, that they know what the temple of David really is. They know these things. All of this stuff that they're doing is for their own, is for you to believe their folly and their lies. That they taught everything backwards. They want the Christians to really believe that they are the body of Christ when they taught you paganism. No way. Okay? Because they know they use you to steal. The Vatican is stealing from the Most High every day. They ain't going to say, the Christian church, we're stealing from the Most High. Okay? You don't get it. They robbing the whole nation. They know they're robbing the man. You're gonna find out they've been calling when you go and steal from them. That's why they come down so hard on you. Because that's how the devil is. Oh, you're gonna steal from me? I'm gonna kick your butt. And the Most High is like, he's the same way. But like I told you, he's gonna let you keep doing. Okay. He gonna wink. Okay, boom, big hit. But see, that it's time to stop stealing. It's over. Kimbangu gave them the 100-year prophecy to give it up. They said, blank you. Basically, no, we're gonna make it worse. That's what they did. They said, Toko said, you need, no, blank you. And then we're gonna make it people do. You don't get it, man. They said, screw dude, Cain, we ain't bowing down to this joker. We're not doing that. And then they sing the song, every knee shall bow and then every tongue confess. They're not going to, I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to hear one single angel of the Creator call him Jesus Christ. No way. They don't even call him that. Okay? They don't call him no Jesus Christ in the kingdom of the heavens. No. They know his name. You're going to be shocked like, that's his name? What the heck? What name was we calling on? Wait till you see. You're going to be shocked like, whoa, wait a minute. Where did we get the name Jesus Christ from then? Somebody lying to us. Yep. Okay? They don't call him no Jesus Christ or not. And no, they do not. You keep believing them secret society people. Okay, they know what they call it. When they say Jesus Christ, they know who they talking about. They ain't talking about Isaiah Congo. Mfumu Yisuwe. They're not talking about Yeshua. And Yeshua, no H. I say he's no Horus. Get up out of there. Yosua, we have it. Yombe Yepowani Mwananzami Yesue. The guy even said Yesue. Okay, singing the song in the Bantu culture. Yesue. Elonginangai. Yesue. Elonginangai. In the Lingala. Yesue. Elonginangai. It means the teacher of the king. He's the teacher of the way of the king. That's what Ngai means. Yesue elonginintino. Okay, I'm telling Kenge ya mwanan Yesu mwananan zambi. I'm telling you, people, it's gonna be shocked. All right. I'm gonna be over with this now. Sala Kambote. And that's why I said, they have now initiated the next phase. I was looking at this thing about March the 4th. I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your mind about March the 4th. And I anticipated this. Here it is. It's March. It's principle. You see, because I made a discovery about Chuck Schumer, Charles Schumer. You know his last name it means the same thing as Anansi, which means bottom. It means good for nothing. His last name means good for nothing vagabond. And so now Charles is the code name for Chucky, which is the code name for Esau. Let me pull up March the 4th. I'm going to show you something that's going to trip you out. Because see, they used to inaugurate the presidents on this day. Now remember, it's the 63rd day of the year, which is a 9. And a 9 and a 4 makes a 13. Now watch this. I'm going to show you something that's going to blow you away. And watch this. It says, now they're going to say AD 51. If you think about that, Psalm 51, think about going around those lines. The 6. Nero, later to become Roman emperor, is giving the title Principes Eventutis, which means first in time or order, or the first most chief. Now Nero, in the eyes of the Sanhedrin, was the same as Herod. You don't get it. They were like, okay, we know he was the Caesar. He was one of the people that they favored him because of what he was doing to the Banabe to be sort of. Oh yeah, he was killing us. Okay, so now you go to where it says, in the Roman Republic, wherein the leading member of the Senate was designated Princeps Senatus. Why is that significant? Chuck Schumer is the head of the Senate. You know what state he represents? Is New York. They couldn't script this any better for the end of the end. Okay, so you have a man whose name means Esau, good for nothing vagabond, because Chucky is Esau. That's what they nickname. That's why you see the Chucky with the dog with the red hair. Okay, that's Esau, and the woman is base map. The wild woman. Oh my God, his wild wife. Okay, crazy. That's why they say, oh, she's that crazy. Okay, yeah, she's Looney Tunes. Okay, They also are resembling Cain and Lilith at the same time. So now, this is why you don't watch horror movies, because these things are putting demons on you. Don't even know. But anyway, when they did all that stuff about American Horror Story, ooh, you don't even know why they made that. They were showing you that the real spirit of America is Luciferian. Shh, you don't know that. They were also showing you this is the spirit around the whole world that's in this system is Lucifer. I told you the whole banking system is designed to be the opposite of what we did as the 12 tribes. It's not good. It's bad. Why you think the Most High said don't charge interest? What are they doing? They're charging you interest. The Most High don't said he said don't keep heaping debt upon debt. What do? They keep heaping debt upon. They're doing the opposite. They're keeping you in debt. The Most High said don't keep people in debt. They're keeping you in debt. The Most High said no, don't do that. So then how can you be working for the Most High? They're doing the opposite. Okay? Everything that they have taught you in this world is the exact opposite of what the Creator intended for his own people. In the name of Jesus, in the name of Allah, in the name of El, whatever they call him, Buddha, okay? They have known the way you control the people is debt. They learned this in Egypt. They learned this in Cain's time. This is how it worked. Okay? You keep people in debt. They're too busy to notice what's going on. And then you make them work so hard, you got to give them a break. You got to give them a way to blow off steam. What do you think that's what the entertainment industry is for? Go blow off steam, but don't do it too far. You don't want to hurt the other donkeys and the other dogs and the other people that you don't want to hurt I told this guy, you're on an assembly line. And then whatever hat you put on, some people will have multiple hats. Some people will have one hat all their life. They know this even before you graduate. You think they don't? Yes, they do. Because you're going to find out many of these people they picked for the academy, they knew you were going to the academy before you were born. These people that were picked to go to Ivy League schools, Ivy lines up with the woman Poison Ivy. Yes, Poison Ivy. Yes, it is. That's where they went and started creating these things to start building the knowledge that you think is real to the Creator. Nope. Not one out of it. There's some good stuff that he knows. The rest of it is like, it's garbage. I don't even have nothing to do with that. This is a lie. But see, people are going to come back and tell you, I'm the liar. Okay, we're going to find out who's who, because in the next few months to a year, you're going to see they just initiated you into the New World Order with the Super Bowl. 100%. And then with the rest of this week and all that's going to happen, even into when they're going into the Olympics, I done seen the commercials. I was like, I showed the woman who was wearing the red splotchy dress with the cow. I said, that's Baal. And the guy with the cape like this, okay, that's Nimrod. How he was running like that with his long flowing cape like a king. I said, you didn't catch that with his yellow. Okay? The jealousy count. That's why they say yellow means jealousy. And I'm like, yeah. I said, you're going to find out that even when they did the Megan Italian with the talking horse with the wings, what's the part about they don't get? Okay? They have been already showing you that the spiritual realm is starting to manifest even more. I saw the video where the dude was getting attacked by the gnome. I said, people put gnome in their house. I said, these things people don't know what they put in their house. I told people, you got to be careful what you put outside and in your house. The one person was even showing the gnome that kept moving and the one that was doing, and they have this thing something called a red that comes from it when people were talking about it. It's not a gnome, it's a red cap from back in the day. You're going to see why now they wear the red cap. The red cap was one of those things with those demons that they had in England. Now you're going to see why they put a red cap on their head. It was a demonic entity. Let me see if I can put. I'm going to show you. Let's go. Yeah, here we go. So the red cap is a type of malevolent, murderous goblin found in the border folklore. It is said to inhabit ruined castles along the Anglo-Scottish border, especially those that were the scenes of tyranny, of wicked deeds, and is known for soaking his cap in the blood of its victims. He is also known as the red comb and bloody cap. You think that they just put those red caps on for the mega for just for no reason? There's a reason for everything, people. They know the red cap is that demon, okay? So yeah, it's all coded, okay? And that's why this lady that I follow, she says something came out of the sun. I'm like, well, there's two suns, so people are gonna say I'm crazy, but no, because there's a demon. I said there's a guy. He even said it, there's a red sun. There's a song they used to sing called "Black Hole Sun, Won't You Come." I can't remember the name of the group. And I said you could see the people were being sucked up, and I'm like, he was showing you in that song. This is the energy that gets pulled into him. The black hole sun is Lucifer. So then his energy is being sucked into you. That's why he said, "Come, black hole sun," because why? He's pulling the energy, and then he feeds it to those that are his chosen. You don't get it. I'm telling you, it's going to become a reality now because we warned you. It's like all this time, the whole system was for the 12 tribes and their God. But you don't get it. So all the people have been set up to make sure that when Kimbangu and these prophecies like Kempavita, they were going to make sure that they ran the interference, period. Okay? All right, let me play the song and I'm going to get out of here. I've been on here 2.5 hours and I'm really sorry about that. Oh, and I'm going to link this thing about the 17. Look it up. It's called the 1775 Bible. I'll try to link it. And you're going to see where he said, hey, it was 13 months. Yeah, because they they took out that month. They changed the days of the calendar to shift it. And then it shows you that they were on the Sabbath day at one point. And then I told you, Rome made them change it. When the Jesuits came into the picture, you're gonna find out, man. We were not on no Sunday when we were in the Kingdom of Congo. We had a different worship system, period. And they called it pagan, and you're gonna find out, nope, it wasn't. We just messed up. This is actually the link. You'll see it when I pull it up. It says it right here. You can pull it up, and he goes, "We were lied to." Now, I think they're scapegoating them as usual. All right, and so let me go to my. Actually, where did I go? Where are my songs? Well, I'm just gonna type it in. I'm gonna do. Where's the music? There go my videos. Like I said, I still do support them. Don't think I don't. It's just that, like I said, I'll do this first song right here. I listen to this all the time. We agreed to disagree on certain things, and there's just certain things that I know that I was shown by him, is actually by him himself, that was inconsistent with what I was learning, and from Kimbangu. For anybody wondering, this is the child of Revelation 12 that was for the third secret of Fatima, that they covered him up because you weren't supposed to know he replaced the Pope. And the person that he said was coming after, when he was coming back, was actually Isaiah himself, Mfumu Yisuwe. So that's why I've been a lot kind of like, okay, I read the prophecy. It was like, to me, he made it sound like he was coming back with Mfumu Yisuwe. So I just let that people believe what they want, but that's how it was determined. Even with Kimbangu, the same thing. He's like, after the 100 years, he was like, no, Isaiah's coming, the king. And see, there have been people saying that was not prophesied. I'm like, okay, but like I said, who's in charge of the Most High's army? Who's the general? And then who's the it's like he's in charge, but then you have the Micaiah and Zombie, the angel, who giving the orders out. Yeah, because in Mfumu Yisuwe Congo, he's like, Toko never said he was Isaiah. Never said that. He never said he was Mfumu Yisuwe. He said that Yisuwe is talking from my guts. Okay? And that's why he was getting put in prison so many times. Like back, because he said Lucifer was warring against the Lamb, just like it says. And he was doing that. The problem is, you thought that the Lamb he's warring against is the white guy. Nope. The one he's warring against is the Chuluba Banabetu of Isolele in Revelations. That's who he's warring against. He's warring against the Bakongo, the Benanzambi, the Bena Isolele, Isaiah Congo, the Mfumu Yisuwe Congo, Yisuwe, Jesus, not no Jesus. He knows that he gave the Christians Zeus. And it's a lie. It's going to be all exposed. And that's why he said, don't keep teaching this evil doctrine. Because he said, this comes from the sorcerer. Kimbangu said the same thing. But he said, don't you throw it away. Use it to expose the sorcerer. And that's what I'm doing. And they don't like that. I'm exposing all the sorcery. And they're coming at me and trying to destroy me. I guess they said I was prophesied. And I was like, huh? They said, yeah, you were prophesied about some things that would come in the future. Because like I told you, they see the future. They were like, hey, that guy gonna come take us apart. You gotta stop him. I tell you, they lied to they saw every one of us coming forward to say we gotta run interference on this. And the Most High says, do your worst. Watch what's gonna happen. He always tell them that. You think you're gonna stop me? It ain't gonna stop me. Yeah, my prophecy, I guess, was a long time ago. And I was like, who prophesied that? I was like, wow. I'll tell you who prophesied that. You'll find out who the prophecy came from when it comes to time. See, because you got a lot of people out here calling themselves watchmen for the people, but they're still a novice because they don't have the full truth, or they don't have the real truth. And that's why Felipe is not taught even among the other groups, because he exposes a lot of the things. And I know there's a group that's saying that he's the only one. Don't believe that. Felipe was not the only one. Okay, so don't believe that either. But I'm telling you, I'm telling you that as I end this, Betwabu, Dumalang, Salakambote, all I'm going to say is many people have been initiated into the NWO. They have been initiated into the New World Order, and they don't even know it. And I said to people, you're going to find out the hard way. Anyway, I got to pause this. Zola Quingy Sambololo.